I I have watched the new Winnie the Pooh horror movie titled Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey, and you won't believe some of the stuff I'm gonna say. I didn't have much expectations for this movie, because as you may know, the movie got made because some people jumped at the opportunity of Winnie the Pooh becoming public domain, and they decided to themselves, oh brother, wouldn't it be a nice idea to make a horror movie about the beloved children's character? Say, Christopher Robin, do you think that I could become a horrible serial killer who will murder every human that I come into contact with because you have abandoned us, and thus we have to resort to our animal instinct, and now we can't stop, and it's all your fault, and now we cannot be stopped, and our thirst for blood can't be soothed anymore? Pooh, what the fuck are you talking about? See, the movie kinda represents something that happened in an argument with my family over the weekend. They were talking about someone called Hart and how he keeps attacking my grandpa, and I honestly don't know what the hell happened or how will things even be continued, but apparently they will be. The movie starts off with probably its best segment all throughout, although it's not like there were many opportunities considering how the movie was shorter than your average episode is in the new Last of Us series or any other major series with long episodes. It presents the characters that we are about to see and give us a little inside look at why they have turned into the monsters that they are. Christopher Robin found our beloved bunch of animals in the forest one day who were all crossbreeds. The drawing style looks actually very similar to the one we see in the original Winnie the Pooh books, yet the movie puts a twist on it and tells the story of what happened to the animals after they have been abandoned by Christopher Robin, who left them because of medical school. The animals get used to getting free food from the child, but after he stopped, the animals started to starve because they have lost their animal instincts and were unable to fend for themselves. On one winter night, when everyone was on the edge of starving to death, Pooh Bear decided that they should all eat Eeyore, and that's exactly what they did. Afterwards, they have turned into killing machines who now kill anyone who they come into contact with and feast on their flesh. Although we see Pooh, Piglet, Owl, Rabbit and Eeyore in the first drawn segment of the movie, afterwards the movie only features Pooh and Piglet as grown-up animals, which leads us to believe that Pooh and Piglet might have eaten the other ones as well, not just Eeyore. We see Christopher Robin alongside his wife returning to the place where he met the animals and played with them every day. He wanted to show his wife that the talking animals do in fact exist, and unbeknownst by both of them, they walked right into their demise. The two have to hide because Pooh and Piglet are coming after them, and they are very angry with Christopher Robin, who they blame for everything that has happened, and swore to never talk or be friendly towards others ever again because he abandoned them. The two of them get caught, and Christopher Robin has to watch as Pooh murders his wife, letting him know that he is gonna be the last one. However, that won't happen because even though they catch Christopher Robin, they catch him with the intention of torturing him and making sure that he pays for abandoning them. After this segment is over, we see a couple of new characters, whose names I literally can't remember, who are a bunch of girls who decide that they will hike into the woods so that they will get a bit of relaxation and the time together. This is obviously gonna be a bad idea and just gives us a bunch of no-name useless characters who are only there to show us some kills and gore, which is seriously the only thing about this movie that saves it from being that bad. However, even that is being taken too far when we see kills on screen, because even though the effects might not be as good, the practical ones look actually nice, so much so that this much gore is actually just torture porn at this point, and yeah, this just reminds me of Terrifier. You know, the beloved clown who made people so sick that they had to run out from the movie theaters and actually vomit and cry themselves to the ground. Ah yes, good times man, good times. The mess of the characters were honestly so bad that there's no wonder why the movie creator decided to mostly show Pooh and Piglet in the dark, yet despite this, there are parts where we can see that they are of course way too humanoid, either because of the mask coming off a bit or because the mask just gives off no real expression and is just a piece of leather like a gimp suit, or I have no idea. Go watch the movie if you want to see how bad it is. Okay, so back to the story. After the girls arrive at their house, one of the girls goes away to call somebody, and while she's talking on the phone, Pooh starts to chase her. The girl manages to escape into a nearby garage, and I swear to you, this has to be the most pointless scene in the entire movie. So the girl escapes into a garage, waits behind a wood chipper, yeah, I'm sure you can already see where this is going, and I swear on my life, at least 40 seconds pass where nothing happens. They try to make this seem like they are building up tension, but this only builds boredom. After Pooh catches the girl, he strips her from the top, and for whatever reason we see boobs on the screen, and I honestly thought this part was gonna show that Pooh is a pervert, or I don't know, was gonna rape the girl or do something like that to her, like a caveman who sees a woman for the first time, but no, they just put this scene in the movie for no apparent reason whatsoever, only to make the movie longer. In the next scenes we find out that one of the girls has had a stalker, so now she's scared for her life to be alone, but I suppose going into the woods is the best course of action, and instead of leaving when one of their friends go missing, they literally stay in the woods more. Why? Why on earth would anyone with a right mind do that? We cut to a scene that shows Christopher Robin trying to reason with Pooh and tell him that he is better than this, aka he shouldn't hurt anyone, and that he missed them, but he came back to them now, and that he wants them to change back to the original version of themselves. Pooh gets emotional for a bit, goes and takes a look at himself in the mirror, however, comes back to smash some boxes, drink some booze, and let a single tear drop down his face. Immediately after this, Pooh starts torturing Christopher Robin, making him take showers in blood, whipping his back with ER's tail, or I have no clue what it is. I thought that it could just be somebody's hair as well, while making him look at the skeleton of his now dead wife. I swear to God, the marks that the whipping leaves on Robin's back is so fucking deep that I had to stop for a second and think to myself, wait, isn't that a bit too gory? And yeah, it was. I honestly can't wait for James from Dead Meat to make a key account on the movie, because I'm sure he would appreciate the practical effects. Next scene, we get to meet the real deal of the series, the Amorant, as some qualified people would say. The girl is making some photos for her Instagram story or OnlyFans or God knows what, and in one of her pictures she spots Pooh Bear in the background, clearly standing there, and instead of doing anything, she goes back to the tub saying that she's not gonna let anyone ruin her hot tub, or something like that. I don't know, the writing was so shit in the entire movie that I can barely comprehend anything that happened and I don't remember anything anymore. Pooh and Piglet show up behind her, strangle her, tie her up, and then they put her head on the road and then crush it with a car. The girl's eyes pop out of the socket literally, and she keeps on screaming as everything is being shown in detail with probably the worst CGI and acting combination ever. The other girls hear the now dead girl screams and go to investigate, but they are met with a "get out" written in blood over the windows. Pooh and Piglet start to hunt down the remaining girls and try to infiltrate the house. One of the girls runs away to the pool area and decides to jump into the middle of the water. Piglet starts to throw his chain in the water as a sad attempt to try and hit the girl, but instead he ends up only slapping the water a couple of times before he jumps in to go after the girl. We get one of the worst choreographed sequences ever in the history of cinema after this. Piglet tries to hit the girl with a sledgehammer. He fails to do so, but since the girl is slower than him, he catches up to her and eventually hits her in the face. After this, the other girls escape and we see the captured girl being tied down to a table. Pooh Bear is near her and smears honey all over his face and proceeds to slap the girl a few times until she gets unconscious. The others arrive and save their friend, and afterwards they find the tied up Christopher Robin, then free him from his torture chamber. Soon after, they find another girl tied to a post that looks like it came from a living room of Satan himself, and they decide to give the girl a gun. Now, remember the girl who was talked before? Yeah, she brought a gun, and it's not any ordinary gun. The girl brought a freaking revolver. She was ready to split open someone's head or duel with them, no fucking idea, and the worst part about it is that the gun only had one bullet in it. Why did the girl bring a freaking revolver and only have one bullet? She wanted to play fucking Russian roulette with it or what? Even though the girl has clearly brought a gun to a pig fight. I mean, what? Pooh comes up behind her and just smacks her to the ground, pours honey all over her face, and lets Piglet finish the job by eating her whole face down. Then the remaining girls somehow trap Piglet with ropes and decide to beat the shit out of him with a sledgehammer, and while this is happening, Pooh is outside somewhere in the woods, but apparently he has the powers of Superman and hears Piglet's cries, then decides to come back to save his friend, but in the end it is already late because the girl has managed to kill off one of their attackers. Pooh arrives in time to catch the girl and chokeholds her up to a supporting beam, then fucking stabs her in the mouth, pinning her to the beam and leaving her body to hang like a fucking Christmas ornament. After this, the two remaining girls run out, and thankfully the mechanic from the start of the movie, who I deliberately didn't mention because he gives even less to the plot than the other characters, alongside his friends, stops to try and help the girls fend off the enraged bozo, Pooh Bear. They start to taunt him and threaten him that they will mess him up bad, but Pooh doesn't move. Then they start to hit him hard and try to kill him, but Pooh prevails and goes full on fucking Jason Voorhees on them, cause you know, the things that happen to Pooh are just like two men kissing. They made him hard. He straight up rips down half a man's face, karate chops down the other one's arm to the ground, and then curb stomps his skull into oblivion, and slashes the last one's face with a single slap. Pooh has supernatural powers, I swear to God, call Marvel or some shit. The two girls try to run him down with the car left on the road. They manage to, but Pooh climbs on top of the car and manages to pull out one of the girls after they crash their car. The other girl watches from the driver's seat as Pooh viciously rips her friend's head off, then proceeds to throw it at the windshield, which the girl tries to clean. Like, bruh, you trying to see something? Pooh drags her outside, but before he could finish off the girl, Christopher Robin comes with his car and slaps it straight into Pooh, pinning him between two cars. Unbeknownst to Christopher Robin, Pooh is apparently immortal and doesn't seem to suffer any damage whatsoever, and goes to grab the girl by her hair. Robin pleads him to not hurt the girl and to take him instead because he was the one who left, and since Pooh doesn't care about his pleading and cries for help, he finally speaks the only line he has in the movie, and he tells Christopher Robin, You left. Pooh cuts the girl's throat and then proceeds to go and stab her head a solid 5 times as if she wasn't dead already. Then Christopher Robin runs away, and the sequel is apparently already in the works, so they could make something out of it, I suppose, but this movie was just bad. I only truly appreciated the scary parts of the movie and the sequence that was drawn. However, there's no doubt that the effects of the movie were somewhat fine, especially the practical effect, which makes up for the seriously horrible mess that they made for Pooh and Piglet, but of course nothing can make up for the short runtime and the god-awful characters and horrible script that the movie had. It was way too drawn out, full of pointless characters who were only there to serve as victims, and the movie had so many scenes in which nothing ever happened, but they most likely only put them in to make the movie as long as possible. The movie has a very poor rating so far, 4 out of 10 on IMDb, a whopping 5% on Rotten Tomatoes and 17% on Metacritic, but honestly despite these I found the movie to be slightly okay, only because of the stupid gimmick that is just Winnie the Pooh being a murderous beast who just kills because of revenge. Either way, the movie is still better than the entirety of the Velma series, so I can only rate this higher. I think the 4 out of 10 rating on IMDb makes perfect sense. Check out the movie if you really have nothing else better to do, and don't feel bad for wasting time on something as dumb and goofy as this movie. But this is all the time we had today. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you'd like to see some more content from me, make sure to subscribe so you won't miss out on any new videos, and if you thought this video was nice, make sure to drop a like and a comment below. Until next time, I wish everyone a wonderful evening. Bye bye.